Well, let me ask you this. Man.
Yeah.
Going into this game,
Yep.
and think about what the Eagles did this last game, and their ability to run the ball when they want to run the ball. When you got a left side that's 380 pounds on at the tackle position, 6'8", then you got 6'6", 360 pounds. Why do you not run the ball, especially the left side? Because you have all you need to come off the ball and road grade people. Do you think that they're going to go through the same process as they did last week, this week? Will they run the ball against the worst defense against the run?
I don't trust him because he hasn't shown me enough of it. I don't trust Nick Sirianni and his game plan. I don't. Because I can sit here on various platforms and say, yes, I fully expect Nick Sirianni to run the football right down the Chargers' throats, and all of a sudden he's throwing the ball 50 times. See, I don't trust him. I don't have a big enough body of work to have a feel for what Nick Sirianni does. Now, I will say you better run the football against this particular defense. That defense is really hurting with Kenneth Murray not in the middle of that defense. And that's a big loss for that defense. I think the run defense would be a lot better if he was there, but he's not. Now, you don't want to throw against this defense because the people on the back end are pretty good. You got some pretty good guys. You got Chris Ward, a little bit longer than tooth at 32, but he can still ball. You have Nasir Adderley back there. You got Derwin James back there.
He's balling too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got Asante Samuel Jr. He was a high second-round draft for this team. So you've got some ball hawks on the back end of that defense. So what do? You attack, Barrett, you know this. I don't care if it's Pop Warner, high school, college, or pros. When you strategize to face your next opponent, you are looking to attack a weakness, not a strength. You're looking to attack the weakness and prey on that weakness until they make you do something otherwise. So to everybody who watches the game of football and who's had a chance to watch the LA Chargers, it's well known you run the ball against them to keep their offense off the field. Because I don't think the Eagles have the personnel to get involved in a shootout when you look at the weapons that the Chargers have on the other side of the ball. You need to control the clock. Do the exact same thing that Green Bay did to Arizona. Nobody thought Green Bay was going into Arizona to beat Arizona. Green Bay had the ball for 37 minutes. Why? Because they ran the football and they picked up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards of real estate, and then they punched it in just enough to stay ahead of Arizona.
Yep.
It's a simple formula. But again, because of a small sample size with Nick Sirianni, I don't trust him as we sit here today.
You have an equal sample size to your point of what counters the logic that you just laid out, Gunnar, which is we saw against the Raiders them attack a vulnerability on that defense. And for whatever reason, they just decided to stop. Like they said, no. We'll allow that offense to get back on the field without Waller. Jacob is hurt as well. We'll allow them to get back on the field and throw left and right. So I agree with everything you said from a logical and from an X and O standpoint. Attack the weakness, but you're right. Where we have such a small sample size of it working against Detroit, it's knocked out by the other sample that we have, which is equal 1-to-1 of them doing what you laid out and then for whatever reason aborting.
See, I know when you go back to the Raiders game, I know when you initially come out on both sides of the ball, you're feeling the opposition out. Okay. So the Eagles had the advantage there because if you looked at what Nick Sirianni had done before, they'd have run the football. They didn't put Jalen Hurts under center. So in the Raiders game, they put Jalen Hurts under center that first series. They ran the ball 6 times. It was a balanced attack. They scored 7 points. Simple formula.
Yep.
All of a sudden, the game's tied. Nick Sirianni loses his mind, starts throwing the ball, playing right into the hands of the Raiders.
And then Sanders got hurt.
Sanders got hurt. Raiders get on top of them. Eagles can never catch up. So the score was not indicative of how lopsided that game really was. So then the next week, you're playing a JV team in Detroit. So basically, you did what you're supposed to do, run up and down the field on 236 yards rushing, 40-something rushing attempts. You did exactly. Now you're going to play a much better opponent. So that's why I said, I don't trust Nick Sirianni. I don't have a big enough sample size to know what this man's capable of or what he's not capable of. You brought Jordan Howard in off the heap, and Jordan Howard was having a field day. That man was so happy to run the football, he'd have run through the goalpost if you had told him.
Right.
Boston Scott, he was in the witness protection program most of the season, didn't even get the ball. He finally got some touches. 2 running backs account for 4 rushing touchdowns. It's only the second time in franchise history that's ever happened. So if I'm the coach, light bulb goes on. Look, even if it doesn't work, let's attempt to run the football for a half. Even if we get down by 7 points, 10 points, we still have another whole 30 minutes to play the game in the second half. Then we can adjust our game plan and let it fly. But I don't know what to expect from this coach and this team this coming Sunday.
What do you think the pass-happy owner thought of that game plan?
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't happy about it, but he got him a W.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing was, we beat a team that we were supposed to beat. We beat them handedly, 44-6. We beat them handedly, so it's a feel-good moment. But, hey, our metrics and analytics show that we should be throwing the ball 75% of the time.
Isn't that crazy?
And I'm thinking, to me, analytics. See, now you guys are going to get me started on this tangent here.
No, but you're right. We talk about
I hate analytics.
So do I.
It's like playing Madden football. Why can't a computer decide what your percentages are? Why can't you have the old field? Look at the coaches who Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Vince Lombardi, all these guys. They had a feel for the game. Those type of coaching staffers, you could feel what was working. And, if you go back in the day, some teams would tell you when they had success, they would run the same play over and over again because the opposition couldn't stop it. Mm-hmm. There wasn't this big array, a vast array of plays that we got to call to try to trick them up. Hey, we're kicking them in the teeth right now. Let's keep kicking them until they force us to do something else. Oh, no. These modern-day coaches now, hey, computer tells me that 33.7% of the time I should throw to the flats instead of hitting the guy on the seam route. I hate analytics, man. I don't know who came up with that. They're making a lot of money off this mess, but I hate analytics.
No question, man. But I said this, and my two hosts, they laughed at me, man. But I'm gonna pose it to you. Jalen Reagor is back.
What's that? Jalen what?
Jalen Reagor, don't be like that, man. I said Jalen Reagor's back. I like the way they used him before he got hurt, man. Do you think there's any chance they start doing the same thing and keep on with the running jet sweeps and getting the ball into his hands early so he can make plays after he gets the ball? That's when he's best. Yeah. He's better suited to get it that way as opposed to catching the ball down the field. Him being back.
I agree. I would use.
He didn't laugh, guys.
I would use Jalen Reagor on jet sweeps, reverses. I would even try to use Jalen Reagor on the hitch passes, stuff like that. But trying to send him down the seams, the man can't get separation. You don't know if he's going to catch the ball or not. Sometimes he treats it like a live hand grenade. I think that's the most effective way to use a Jalen Reagor. Use a Quez Watkins and Devontae Smith to stretch the field on the intermediate routes. You have a good tight end who's there in Dallas Goedert. Stretch the field on the intermediate routes. Let Jalen Hurts take an occasional deep shot here and there. But you know what? You look at the teams that are really successful. You look at a Tom Brady. You look at Aaron Rodgers, guys like that. Even at Patrick Mahomes. What do? They dink and dunk their way up and down the field and set up the big shot. Right. They'll drive you crazy. Look how quick those three quarterbacks get the ball out of their hands. And these are guys that have proven to know how to read defenses. For Jalen Hurts, who is still in a learning mode, and hopefully each and every week getting better and better at what they're asking him to do, the best way to get him in a rhythm is dink and dunk your way down the field. You have the personnel to do that. Don't let this young man stand back there patting the ball 20 times. All of a sudden he takes off. Sometimes he takes off too soon. Sometimes he holds the ball a little bit too long. And you've got to get him in a rhythm. Okay, we know he's missed wide open receivers on out routes and stuff like that, but you've got to get him in a rhythm. I don't like the way they utilize him exclusively from the shotgun. Let that man get under center, drop back 5-7 step drop, tap the ball, get it out of his hand 2.2, 2.8 seconds. They don't do that for this kid. Somebody put it out there that it looks like they're setting him up to fail. I'm not going to go that far as to say that, but I don't think they've utilized him to the best of his ability, whatever that ability may be. Now, Nick Sirianni told us a few weeks ago they've gone with a shotgun because that's what he's comfortable with at Oklahoma. But I've said you've had him since April, OTAs, mini camps, training camp. Why have you not stretched his ability more so than catering to his limited ability at this level?
You want to know why? He doesn't know. You brought up a great phrase about how Jalen Hurts is in this learning process, right? Yes. And now, my child is 4.5 months old, so I can't use mine as an example. But for both of you and others who are parents of children who have grown or are grown, you've seen it where there's a learning or a teaching moment, but the person who is teaching doesn't know what to do. So you can show up to school every single day, but if the teacher has no idea how to communicate the information or what the information is in the first place, then you're sitting there in the back just scribbling away, hopefully to get some sort of art scholarship.
Exactly. Art scholarship.
Well, I mean, you look at Wentz, man. I was saying today, Wentz is out there playing with the same bad mechanics, but he's still being put in good positions because they're allowing his bad mechanics to help him flourish as a player. You know, he wants to be outside the pocket, use his arm, and just push the ball down the field. Well, it's working. But you have an offensive coordinator / head coach that designs plays around these inefficiencies. So it makes it, it highlights the bad things that he does well. Why can't you do the same thing with Hurts?
I've said for years. Wait, you got to go? Wait, I just got on. You can't get me off already?
Well, I mean, you've been on for 20. Look, you can stay as long as you want. I'm going to jet, but you all can do whatever. Look, I'm not going to force you off. I wanted to ask you a quick question on the way out, all right?
Yes.
Eyes closed. You have to make a choice. There is no fourth option, throw me off of a roof or anything like that. Okay. You need to win a game, and you need to win this game on offense. It can't be on defense. You need to win this on offense. Which coach are you going to? One game, that's it. All the marbles, as they say. Nick Sirianni, Rich Kotite, Eddie Jordan. Which offense are you trusting?
Wow. I'm going to have to go with Sirianni in this case. I don't know why, but I'm going to have to go with Sirianni.
Wow.
Yes.
Ooh, man, that's a tough choice, man. Wow.
Now, do you guys want to hang for a little bit? You're more than welcome.
No, I'm tired of talking to all of you, man. I got to go outside and plant some mums, man. I ain't
there you go, people, man. I don't want anybody to tell you otherwise, Gunner, but we love you. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate
you guys for having me on.
All right, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Gunner is going to have you following the Eagles game with the post-game show right here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. So we have you covered across the board.
They better win. Well, I'm going off. They better win.
You'll have more fun if they lose. Trust me. It's the middle. Thanks to Gunner. Thanks to you out there as well.